Good evening, folks, and welcome to Alien Addict on a fine, luxurious evening. It's a luxurious evening because the threesome is together for the Conspiracy Mothership. I don't think I've been on a Conspiracy Mothership before. Have I been on a Conspiracy? I did, but Keemstar came on. God damn you, Keemstar. And we've never got a chance to actually do a proper Conspiracy Mothership, but I'm going to get a chance to do one tonight. But Keemstar, come on again, that would be nice. But guys, I want you to do all the things, but the main things I want you to do, because I don't even know if you're aware of it, but we're on every single podcast going. I mean, that's just an example there, but we're on them all. Get yourselves on there. So if you can't like watch a show and you're driving through the day, I want you to go listen. And also this little sexy bunch here, they're going. By the end of the month, they are gone. So it's like the final countdown of t-shirts. So get yourself there. But there's going to be another 4 replacing it. And we're going to add the classic Alien Addict one, which will be there to stay. But I'm going to jazz it up a little bit. Without further ado, though, my boys, David, Lee, how the devil are you on this fine? Yeah, that just took your head up a little bit. I'll get rid of that, Lee. Sorry. There you go.
It's all right. No, you don't leave it there. I want people to buy shit. One of you guys will have to like mess around with the chat tonight because for some reason my keyboard's not working. I don't know what's going on. I'm very upset. It's happened again.
Have you locked it?
No, I think I did. I was trying to be clever. I was trying to be clever making it so I didn't have to use my password to log into Windows before, and I think I fucked it.
What a show you did last night. That was great.
Yeah, it was good.
It's a good show.
Yeah, I like them guys.
Yeah,
really cool. Really cool channel. And they're venturing onto YouTube, which good luck to them.
Yeah,
apparently podcast is where it is, though, people. Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go check us out. Listen to us. Listen to all our stuff again and again.
Well,
let
Dave,
us saturate
like
your ear holes.
Shitloads of shows that aren't actually on YouTube. On
Yeah. There's
shitloads. How many is the Lee?
Shitloads.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know a number.
Well, I mean, YouTube's rules are ridiculous.
But we love
you know what I mean? That's the thing on podcasts, like just audio podcasts. You're so much more free to say what you'd like. That's kind of where I'm at it. But there's a bunch on there that I listen to that I like. So, and YouTube's, man, it seems to be really built for cat videos, people breaking things in horrible ways that make you go, and kids playing video games. I guess I can't figure out what else it's for anymore. Used to be awesome, not so much now.
I think. Well, I'm hoping that we're going to get like the. Do you think we'll ever get the Wild West back of YouTube?
No,
that's gone.
It was on TikTok for a while, and then that got dropped off as well. Like they reined that in. Dude, they was wild on TikTok during lockdown for during the lockdowns, but now it's just again cat videos and dancing trends.
It's weird, isn't it? Like the whole Alex Jones InfoWar thing was quite prophetic now, wasn't it?
Yes, I've thought that a few times. Yeah, he was ahead of the curve on that one, as he was many things. But yeah, man. So Conspiracy Mothership. What does anyone want to talk about in the chat? That's kind of what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
I want Ollie to fill me in about the
yeah, you do,
the UFO thing. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get our good friends News Nation to fill us in because it's better than stuttering Stanley here trying to tell you how the Pentagon are banning aliens.
Make sure you spit on it before you fill us in. It's just courtesy.
Always.
Boom.
Aliens do not exist, and most of the UFO footage. So, aliens do not exist, and most of the UFO footage you've seen, it's actually just ordinary objects mistaken for unidentified aerial phenomena. That is what came out today at a report from the Pentagon. It's a detailed 63-page report. The Pentagon's agency responsible for identifying UFOs put it out. They say there's no proof of a top secret government program or has there been any reverse engineering of objects of non-human origin. That was the bombshell claim, remember, of that alleged program that was first made right here on News Nation by the former intelligence officer David Grush. This was 9 months ago.
I have plenty of current and former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided to me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
So, Pentagon says no evidence of such a program, but it does plan to release a second part of this report in the near future. That said, there's plenty actually to dissect just from this first report out today. News Nation's Joe Khalil from the Capitol with us tonight. So I gave kind of the headline, right, Joe? But I know you took a deeper dive into this report. What did you find?
Yeah, so the big takeaways are this. Like the top findings are the Pentagon says there's no evidence to support the claims that the United States has ever had possession of basically alien aircraft. And they also say there's no evidence to show there were any programs that the government was running or that any private corporations were running to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology. That is the big takeaway from the report. Now, it also is pretty dismissive of the claims, but people like David Grush, people who have very high-level clearance at different times, were read into high-level top-secret programs who've said these things do exist. The Pentagon's report says those claims are not necessarily lies, but what the report...
I'll just pause that when he lifts his eyebrows up. Keep playing.
Maybe those people who have been saying...
You'll see.
...were given facts, were given information that was misconstrued, misunderstood, little pieces of facts that were taken out of context.
He's a weird-looking dude.
There. What the fuck is going on there?
Reptilian. I knew it. I knew it. Fucking reptiles, man.
That man,
lizard people.
Like that man hasn't actually got eyebrows, has he? They're painted on. He's got like AI eyebrows.
AI
eyebrows.
AI brows.
Yeah.
Lizard people, man. They're everywhere.
Oh dear me. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how much. Do you want me to keep going with that?
No, we're good there. The government says nothing's real.
We've been Project Blue Booked, haven't we?
No. Well, you mean that he's Project Blue Book and that it's fake?
Yeah.
Or that they've been giving us stuff that's real?
No, they've just they've used Arrow as the new look Project Blue Book just to explain everything away.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose the big question would be then is why did the UFO stuff ever come out, and why has it run its course? Or is this simply there because they know it's going to garner public attention? People are going to go, no, we want the truth, and then they can give them a I don't know, a version of their truth.
Because one escaped in a shopping mall and they realized it had gone too far.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't direct energy weapon them all. Call it a fire. I don't know, man.
Well, Mr. Swatch did mention the direct energy weapons.
Well, we'll get around to that. Night is young. Yeah, man. It makes sense that they would do this because they're just playing with people's heads. Because we've seen this. We talked about this last night, interestingly enough. This thing and the people who are into the paranormal conspiracy. I like conspiracy better than I do UFOs or things. Conspiracy world. Mm-hmm. The basis of the conspiracy world is that the government lies. They are liars. They are lying to you. That's why we form conspiracies, or we believe we believe they are forming conspiracies. Right? That's what we're doing. We're theorizing about what that conspiracy could be. To lie to us, to poison us, to make us take vaccines, to whatever it is, whatever you think it is. That's what we do. So it strikes me as odd that so many people want the government to admit something. And then when the government admits something, everybody immediately calls them a liar. And then the government in a couple years admits the opposite of what they just admitted, and everyone is shocked. This all started off with us believing that the government is inherently lying to us about just about everything. I don't know. I think it's just going to throw more people, around. They're oh, well, they admitted to it. Well, they didn't admit to it. Well, they were lying. Well, no, they were lying about lying. Well, no, they were lying about telling the truth, but they're telling the truth about lying. What?
It's like, when did the conspiracy community decide to do a complete 180 and just go, oh no, we can trust them now.
Yeah, about this, they're good. Yeah, everything else, but this, they're definitely telling us the truth. You have to see everything with a skeptical eye, right? You have to see it with a skeptical eye and a little bit of fantasy to be able to make huge leaps to connect things. But yeah, there's a huge segment. This will only spur argument and it will cause excellent distraction. And as Squatch had pointed out, the Texas fires, the Hawaii fires, the Peru fires, the California fires, the suspicion of directed energy weapons, the green lasers that are being seen, what's going on in Miami, the bizarre burning attack, I think that was in Virginia. Let's not talk about any of these things. Let's talk about the fact that we're finally you got us, guys. Arrow was fake. We've been goofing you. It's all been a goof. What about no. Let's focus on the goof. Let's everyone in the media talk about the goof. Whatever the media is talking about is what they want you paying attention to. So what don't they want you paying attention to?
Well, it's a big year, Dave. But it's for you guys.
Yeah, this is the year Civil War really starts. I'll do some battlefield correspondence for us.
It does seem to be that the just the state of play in the US now is like for the past two elections, it's been the most important election ever, and the pressure just keeps rampant.
Yes, it's building at an exponential level. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on here. The fact that the green lasers and these wildfires and people painting their houses blue, and it's become an anecdote, but it's not one that anyone's addressed in earnest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if it's crazy and these people don't know what they're talking about, cool. Let's dive into that. Why isn't the media putting resources into that to just disprove it and everybody calm down? It was just a fire. They're not. They're just not talking about it.
I think Rotary Motion. Sorry, just put in. I think Rotary Motion's put a great comment out here. Whatever they're doing is paying off. UFO, I think that's supposed to say, folks are ripping each other apart. Yes. And this is something we brought up on the show before. I can't help think that all that access that the likes of Lou Reviews was getting with Lou Elizondo and stuff like that, and if I was a conspiracy theorist, the way he's acting towards UFOs now and towards the community, I would think that old Lou and the counterintelligence operations have done their job perfectly.
I think we need healing. I think we need to make some amends. We need to get Third Phase of Moon on, have a show with them. I'd
like that.
Yeah, let's get some of the people that and to some credit, some shows maybe we weren't as kind to them as we've learned to be now. Right, we're more mature now, and others that we haven't necessarily got along with, or a couple of us haven't, but it's us doing that to each other is exactly what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Because then all these shows, if you pay attention, it's not about mysteries or conspiracy or even UFOs. It's just about drama between people.
Yeah.
So what you're saying there, Dave, is the entire UFO community should come together, stop bitching and moaning about each of us channels and who's fucking hoaxing what and who's grifting this, grifting
well,
that.
The thing is, it's become polarized, just like politics in general. So you kind of have a you have the same reactions and wording used, say, for somebody like what Ashton was doing. Like we've heard that. We've heard like the misogynist thing thrown at Ashton. We've heard the I'm not sure if he's been called a racist, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, he has to have been. That's the go-to. Yeah.
So you've got people launching mud over there like he's like a right-wing conspiracy theorist, because you've got like the again, not to fucking bring Lou's name up again, but he's very much like on the left of the aisle when it comes to like content creators, and it's that's when it's done, because there's you found it doesn't matter whether everyone's pushed in the same direction. There are irreconcilable differences. There are like between people, and they can't get over those things. And I think that's where we need to, like you say, about the idea of getting the boys from Third Phase of Moon on. Like I know I've said before, which I'm sure didn't get back to them, but like we've spoke about it before, Dave, didn't we? About how we've certain things influence things in the medium to short past and longer past, which maybe had nothing to do with that. But I've realized by looking at the whole grand scheme of things, and maybe it's something to do with the show getting more popular, you know, because we're getting more more hate. No, yeah, but maybe yeah, maybe. But I was going to say maybe because like it's
now that we're getting hate. We get it.
Now it's not right. Okay, let's calm down. Let's calm the fuck down, everybody.
We get it. So it's one of those ones. Once we got the first few real lines of hate, we think back and like, you know, maybe we shouldn't have shit on Third Phase of Moon. I think we were being pricks like everybody else. That's not okay. We should apologize.
What I've realized is it's just people getting on to get on, and like people shouldn't be shitting on other people for doing that. Like I said, it's the craziest thing in the world is the Ashton thing, and that's really woke me up to what some of these people are doing. Like the idea that guy researching a fucking UFO video, because that's all he was doing, regardless of the conclusions he came to, regardless of whether he was right or not. All he did was see a UFO video, and he said, "I'm going to try and work out whether that's real or not." And
everybody fucking lost their
everyone
shit.
Fucked him for it.
Yeah,
it's stupid. Like it's and the
with
funny
no
thing
lube.
I've heard people say that's ridiculous. What he's doing is ridiculous. And then the next tweet was about reptilians.
Yes. Fucking amen to that. Amen to that. Like the come on, man. Come on. like Ashton, I think that we have technology that, you know, we've been either reverse engineering or maybe we've laid leap forwards. This is his premise, right? We've either reverse engineered something or we've made leap forwards that we're not sharing with the rest of the world. That is Ashton's basic premise. People are like, fuck him, fuck his horse, his parents, burn his house down. Now the reptilian anal probe search from Radar Reticuli 5. This is really happening out. Like you're just like, oh, what?
It's
Come
funny
on,
though.
man.
I saw some people like, I mean, some of our audience, some of other people's audience,
former
audience,
like we have
audience.
The best chat of any of these shows right now. I will put my fucking hands up, and I'm so
heavy-handed.
Yeah. I'm so thankful for the live audience we get when you look at some of the other shows, and I do now and again. I don't comment. I just kind of spook my head in, go,
give it a sniff,
and then get out. And it's just quickly before I get in, before I get any
sees you in the chat,
before I get any community on me, I get out of there.
Once you get community on you, man, there's no penicillin that'll fix that. You just got to cut the appendage off.
We need to get some soccer accounts, you know.
No, I already
I
have.
stopped.
That's the in thing.
I stopped using the soccer account when I was
That is
14.
it's the in thing.
15. I was 16 when I finally got to stop using the sock account. I got a real sock, or I guess I can't say that on here.
It's
You
the
know,
in thing to go
I
on
moved out
somebody
of
else's
synthetic.
channel and go, this isn't right. Have you seen so-and-so's channel? They're really good. That's the in thing to do.
only our sock account should be not Alien Addict sock account.
That is one thing. Like everyone in the chat needs to know this is that when you're there and somebody posts up, going, "Oh my god, I wonder what Stephen Cambion thinks of that." That's probably Stephen Cambion writing that, and it doesn't. I don't just mean him. I mean this for any of them. Any one of them, like the same. It could be Rich. Like sometimes I'll pop up in the comments going, "Oh, I
anymore.
wonder where Rich is these days. I wonder where Stuart is these days." I know who's writing those messages. I know.
Yeah. Rich had done that in a long time.
No, he hasn't.
No, he's been staying out the bullshit. To be fair,
I'm proud of him.
Do you know what?
He's just doing his thing.
He has a good show when he stays out of the bullshit.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, and he hasn't been dragged into this whole Ashton hate campaign either, which I'm quite happy about. Out of all those people, Rich is the only one that I'll watch for more than 40 seconds these days.
Yeah, I still watch a bit of Goof on.
Bit of Goof on.
Bit of Goof on, yeah.
Although I did have to it was when Lou was losing his mind over Ashton. I got a message from somebody who will remain nameless. They're not on this panel. That said, I want to go check Lou out. I think he's going to have a stroke.
This is a great comment. I wonder what Off Topic 101 thinks about all this. I appreciate the honesty. For those listening at home, that was made by Off Topic 101.
That's brilliant. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, but there he is. He's still there. I've not deleted that yet. There you go, Blake. See, still love you.
I don't think they think that's love. Did you ever think of that?
Yeah, I'll tell you what that's from. They once, and it was one of the. Do you remember them shows that they did where they would just where they get phone-ins and people would talk about? Oh, they were the best. Somebody, and I'm a Trekkie. Somebody phoned in and they were basically a Star Trek character telling a story, and it was fucking hilarious. And I did a video about it basically, and made Blake a Klingon. I mean, he just fit a Klingon well.
How many years ago was that, Ollie?
That was years ago. Yeah, absolutely.
you just held on to it.
I'm a fan of Third Phase. I enjoy dipping my toe in there every now and again.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think you can bring like the return of like Security Team up in this as well.
Yeah, good one.
And because I thought the same thing as you. I've obviously, like everybody probably watching this, I went through phases of watching Security Team stuff. Then I'd hit phases of going, nah, I'm out of this. And then I think you kind of get disenfranchised in it. And then you go, oh, I think everything's fake. And that's I think you have to shake yourself out of that. Because if you just turn around and say, like, the Third Phase and Security are the two biggest channels that put UFO videos out. They are the most subscribed to channels on YouTube. They're, I mean, especially Security. I mean, he's like the OG of.
He went away for ages.
Yeah.
He just put a video out. I think it's got nearly 500,000 views or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Insane shit. But the thing is, like, so he like Off Topic's put you've basically you've proved my point before I've even made it. So third phase of Moon is another Secure Team 10. They both have fabricated stories and push them on YouTube. Now, but what when they don't? So this is my issue with it. They're the two biggest platforms for putting stuff out. Do you think if a good video comes to them, they're not going to go, fuck, this might not be real, we should probably not put it out? Or are they just putting everything out?
I think they're just putting everything out.
Yeah, and the thing is most of these videos, most UFO videos are explainable. Doesn't mean they're hoaxes, it just means they're explainable.
We got sent like a video the other day, which we're going to put out, which is really interesting.
Yeah,
but
I need
when we put that out, somebody will say, "Oh, it's just a car in the distance that's changed shape."
Yeah. So I don't see Off Topics here has said like the Tyler made fake interviews. You'll have to fill me out in on that, Ollie, because I don't know.
So off topic, I don't know if you know this. I interviewed Secure Team 10. Is it about over a year ago now, Lee?
Yeah, we re-released that on our audio feed, so you can go back and listen to that on a podcast if you scroll back through the feed.
It was after he got arrested. Me and him have been we started out with a few debunks. We had a bit of cross swords, but then we gained a mutual respect. And
wait, what do you mean cross swords?
What's your definition of cross swords?
Penises.
Well,
right?
I mean,
I'm not wrong in that, Lee. You heard
What?
penises too, right? He said cross swords.
Yeah.
Penises.
all right, we crossed the streams. We should never cross the streams.
So piss play.
We had an altercation on, we had a little YouTube.
Nothing above the neck, though, yeah?
thing. There was basically this channel with 60 subscribers attacking this channel with 800,000 subscribers or whatever. And then he just messaged me and went, I see what you're doing. It's not going very far. So, and we had a bit of banter back and forth. And then we became friends. But I see what you're... Thank you so much. Welcome to the show, Lee. Awesome. One thing he said about this, he says the UFO field is a business and people need to start realizing that. I think that third phase of the Moon, Secure Team 10, just like you just said then, Lee, if they may get the smoking gun and they'll put it out, they may also get literally a smoking gun in the distance and still put that out. That's a bad example.
I bet all these people that shout about third phase of Moon watch Discovery Channel, and they watch like the Skinwalker Ranch, and they watch the like Ancient Aliens and stuff like that. The thing is, people have got to pay bills. So if you want that to happen, especially in a topic like this, because it's not like politics channels. That's fine. Tim Pool never has a quiet day because there is always something to do. Like Joe Biden sniffed that, Trump said that, there's always something to do. It doesn't work the same in this field. I know you're like, before we started talking about sort of more broader conspiracies, Ollie, like you'd ring me up to say, we'll go off to the show tonight, isn't it? I have no idea what we're going to talk about because nothing had happened. And then there's just been this glut of UFO stuff. I think it's very interesting that that Secure Team 10 stayed completely out of the the gold rush. All of it, with like the gold rush of UFO content that's been going on. That I find that really interesting. I'd love to ask him why. Because
it was because of his father.
Right. Okay.
It's because his father passed him. But I mean, if people say, "Oh, well, these people are just greedy and stuff like that," then and they don't care about other things, he fucking cares. He cares about his family, and he fucking just thought, "This is not worth it. I don't need to stress the fucking YouTube. I'm stepping away from this." And it was at the ripest point to step away from when it comes to UFO content. But at the same time, if you look at where we've come from like with Musiodi and Alien Addict, when we merged together. Dave, I know you destroyed your own channel with putting
we
things
did.
out that you shouldn't have said.
Mhm.
Yes, we did.
We
But we-
tried last night on this one as well. to be
Oh, we
fair.
got close.
Yeah,
We were swinging for the fences.
that monetization symbol's gone yellow, by the way.
It has, yeah.
I'm sure it did.
It's gold. It's golden. But
Golden showers.
we've realized that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who you speak to in this field. Somebody's always going to. We're going to probably put some shit out.
Do you think it's weird? Do you think it's weird that the this should have been this should have been like the golden age of talking about UFOs, and instead it feels more closed in and more narrow-minded than it ever has been,
Because it did its job. I'm not saying that's Mick West or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, by design, it did its job. It made a load of little mini Mick Wests.
I think there's a multitude of people as well. I don't think it's just Mick West. I think he's just one of the key players.
No, it made the communities Mick West. It made every guy behind.
Oh yeah, he's done his job excellently. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's more than a Mick West out there that knows what they're doing. I think there's a couple of people out there which I thought were, like, for want of better words, good guys, and I'd like to know where some of their wages come from. I think there's two Greenwalds, isn't there? It's Glenn Greenwald.
Probably a bunch of them. I mean,
that is
globally.
is he the Black Vault?
Oh, the sex toy guy.
What?
Yeah, dude, he sells sex toys.
Does he?
Does he?
Wild. The Black Vault guy, the Freedom of Information guy.
That makes zero sense to me, by the way. I've always thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I have questions about him. There's certain things he's done which just don't make sense. Like John Greenwald, Black Vault. Thank you. Off topic. And then who's the guy that does the
New York Times?
Yeah, he did the show, didn't he? With
Stephen Greenstreet.
Green Street. He's another one where I thought these guys were, and I'm not saying when I say I thought they were good guys, it's not it's not the fact I think he's a bad person, but I do think I think he's part of an agenda, even if it's unknowingly. And I don't think that has to be anything like crazily conspiratorial. It could just be the fact that he is part of like a group of ufologists or the UFO community, and they kind of walk the same page. You saw that after the Concrete podcast.
Yes.
And it was Greenwald, it was Green Street. And then there was a couple of taggers on that, like with smaller channels like that. Yes. I think there's a Graham guy, and then there's is it Average Steve or something like that? Yeah,
that was the most eye-opening thing, is when they all in uniform came for Ashton with the same narrative that he's mentally unwell. He's mentally unwell. He's mentally unfit. We need to check on his mental health. I've hung out with him. He's a normal dude. He's fine. And if they did too, I'm sure they, you know what I mean? Like, that was targeted.
Yeah,
that was targeted to try and make him look like a crazy person across the board, and it just didn't make sense until you look at the podcast that did it, and it's like, wow, you guys have a lot of feds on here. A lot.
See, I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily think that these people are bad people, you know, and I'd never like, I would never say that people should like go after them or message them or anything like that, because I'm sure, especially the Green Street guy, I think if you met him, I think he'd be a real good guy to speak to. You know, I think he'd be really interesting. I think he'd have really interesting things to say.
I think they all would.
Yeah.
In truth, yeah, I think they would all be. There's a reason they're doing podcasts. There's a reason people listen to them. Yeah.
But I do think that there is and maybe it's because of age. Maybe it's because you had well, like the likes of like Stanton Friedman died and stuff like that. And maybe thinking about it, it sometimes only takes one person to go for the power balance to shift on these things. And like maybe he was like a calming influence over the big guns in ufology, because like you got a telling off by that guy. You probably felt a bit stupid. But there seems to be, I feel like there's a changing of the guard, and I think that the whole sphere of like I don't want to say ufology because it's stupid. It's a stupid word.
It is stupid. Yeah.
But we'll call it the subject.
I like that.
I feel there's a shift of the subject, and as it gets, if it wants to ignite, right? If it wants to ignite the youth, and we're not young anymore, like we're in our 40s. The people that have been doing this longer than us are nearly dead. The younger people have to get into this. So I think that's where people like Keemstar. I know Keemstar's like this kind of, he's like the same age as me, but he is definitely connected with a younger audience than I am. You know, he's an actual influencer
and a younger girlfriend.
That no one really needs to bring that up.
I feel like it's a weird interjection on Ollie's part. I think we should
keep
that. Listen, dickhead, keep that for Goof On. Keep that for Ollie 2017. Yeah,
we're talking about the subject. You're talking about the man. What was the link there for you? Word association triggered that.
Yeah, but I think this is where some of these like guys that have been doing this longer might feel that they are threatened, and their spots are threatened, and their position within the subject. And they're going to lash out. I think that's like you. Then when you get someone like Ashton that just like comes along, and he's pretty mild mannered. He's like he's not what you would call like an imposing personality, but then he sucks up a lot of time from other people. So that time that people are watching Ashton and paying attention to Ashton, they're not paying attention to the Green Wall. They're not paying attention to the Green Street. So these people are gonna go, hang on a second, and now he's amassed like quite a large following in a few months. I think that's what people don't like.
Oh yeah, his success.
Green Wall, Green Street,
a lot of green.
Maybe they're agents.
Green Mile, what?
Maybe they're agents.
It's a good book.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what we've been talking about. That they, in fact, are agents. I'm going to go with green.
Look what's happened to us in the past without naming like names. But there's been.
Are you going to talk about the cartoon mouse?
There's been times on this channel where we've had suspicions with things that have gone on with
about sexuality or people being with the government.
Yes, Dave, exactly that, sexuality. but there has been times where we felt that certain people have wanted the channel to be steered in a certain direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that interesting. Is that happening with these characters, and they don't even know it,
or they're bought in, and they're cool with it? I mean, the reality is, money helps steer things, right? Like money and influence and promises of that, more so than with others. And while we joke that we would sell out, I think anyone who took a look at our psychological profiles, just getting to know you guys over the years that I have, we've actually hung out.
Sorry, I'm just going to interject, Dave. I need to interject because it turns out Rotary Motion is a bigot, and it's actually LGBTQ plus AAI.
Oh, how could you forget about that?
Yeah.
How could you forget about that? Not even human, man. Not even human.
fucking educate
racist
yourself.
Nazi. Anyway, anyway, right. By beating on Rotary, who does not deserve it.
I love Rotary.
I do too. Yeah, man. It's definitely out there. Like, look at our psychological profile, and the reality is, we joke about being bought all the time, but they couldn't do it. We genuinely wouldn't do that, because they'd be like, "Hey guys, remember all this money we've been kicking you? We need you to go after Ashton. I know you like him. Make it personal. All right, we want to focus on his mental health. These are the things I need you to talk about." I just say, nah, I guess I'm not doing this anymore. Kiss my ass. You know, like I won't. And I know you guys wouldn't do that either. But I
mean, I won't. I can't speak for Lee.
But it's really just that simple. You know what I mean? It's easy enough. If you meet someone, you can get a feel for, you know, what you can get away with and what you can't. And I'm not going to do that. I know you guys, we're not going to do that to people. If anything, at this point of the show, we're trying to extend an olive branch. And I guess tonight's kind of that night we're talking about. We've been talking about it a while. Like, how do we reach back out to Third Phase? And like, hey, things may not have gone well. Let's have a conversation.
It's just about making amends and kind of repairing the bullshit that's happened. Because at the end of the day, I think all of us would, if there's less arguments going on, and more work being done.
I want to get what's his name's mate back on.
If you don't have what's his name, I can't get his mate back on.
Dark Hour.
No. Sorry, go on if you want to pull that up.
So yeah, we got a question from Off Topic 101. Can I ask a stupid question? I'm new here. Thanks for showing up, Off Topic 101. New people get spankings, so be ready. Are you all under one Twitter handle, or are you all separate platforms originally, and this is a combined show? This is a good question.
All of the above.
No, don't answer anything. I mean, it's a good question. Let's just leave that one hanging.
Yeah, right. I and Ollie handle the at Real Alien Addict Twitter. I would say if you message the Alien Addict Twitter, you have a 90% chance that it's me that's going to reply to you. I'd say 90%. Do you think that's a good? Yeah, you see, we're in one of those 90% now.
Wrong with my phone.
Ollie will never get back to you if you ever talk to anyone. And we have 3 different Twitter accounts, X accounts, whatever. But we have one show, and that's not even true. So Alien Addict really has like 3 different shows within it. But yeah, so that I hope made it even more confusing. There's Alien Addict, and there's Alien Addict USA, and then there's Lee, who decided to go back to being Lee on X. But on X, for everyone who's ever messaged us, you know, I always respond. Ollie never responds, and Lee will respond.
Yeah.
So if you're talking to someone online, it's either me or Lee. Ollie doesn't even know where his phone is right now.
If it's spelled wrong, it's me.
That's also true. That's if you're texting with someone and messaging and you're like, wow, that grammar's on point. This is very clever. It's me. If it's very clever, but the grammar's a little off, it's Lee. And it's not that he's wrong. It's just that it's UK version.
If
you get a message back and you're like, what the fuck is this? Is someone retarded just messaging me? That's Ollie. It's not Ollie's fault. He's dyslexic. So
you may get a voice.
Send.
I prefer to do voice stuff.
I've done that. I've done that with strangers. Like we're going back and forth, and at a certain point, like I can't do this anymore. I'm just like, sorry, I got to do this with voice.
Oh no, we never changed the hyperlink on the X. Rotary Motion, remind me what that is, because we need to change that. There's a hyperlink somewhere, which is still our old Twitter handle. So yeah, so remind me about that. We'll get on it.
There was another question. I gotta see if I can find it. Oh, what do we think about David Wilcock? Do we think he's legit?
I would.
And that's
love
from
to speak to
Merit
that guy.
BC
Do you know-
Citizens Alliance.
Would you like to know why I think?
I think he has a tragic name.
Bro,
Bro, I would have changed that at 18. He clearly went to a private school where nobody fucked with him about that. That's not a public school name. You don't get through public school with a name like that.
Well done, Moody. Well done. The reason I think Wilcock is like 100% on the level, and at least if he's even if he's wrong, he's not lying to you, is because he's gone insane. Like because
being nice.
yeah, no,
Guy's a lunatic.
Look, I'm sure he's a nice lunatic, but I think that's the thing with him. He's like just hit that point where it's woo.
Would you buy his flying car? Like,
Yeah.
take a test
If it
drive in it?
flies, and I want to see someone else test it.
But I think he's just got. He went too deep. He went down the rabbit hole too far, and you can't
With a
get
name
back
like
out.
That, how do you not go too deep? He
I'll
will
be-
cock.
I would fucking love to go to
David will
like,
cock.
like given the opportunity to go to a house party at David Wilcock's house, I'm fucking in.
That's what David said.
Welcome to the show said he just Wilcock just made 20K earlier. I'm sure he's made a few 20Ks, but what was this one for? Well, I mean, like his Gaia, like he's not getting chump change from Gaia.
No, he's not. I'd like us to get that deal. We keep messaging them. They just keep sending restraining orders.
I would tell you.
Message Wilcock?
No, I've never messaged Wilcock.
Maybe.
I don't really know that much
Lee
about him.
might have done.
I might have messaged him.
Hope he doesn't watch this show.
Yeah, if Guy wants to hire us, Christ, I'll tell you how fucking wonderful crystals are on the daily.
Absolutely, bro. I'll go dig some up wherever you dig them up at. I don't know anything about geology. It's not my thing.
Listen
but
to
it could be.
Listen to some of the crystal people. Like, knowledge on geology is not necessary. It's not.
Yeah, they've always got a pink rock, haven't they?
There went 400 subscribers.
I think we need a crystal at some point.
Meth?
No, in the
You
store.
shouldn't do meth. That's not good. Allegedly.
I can't say your name, mate. But if I don't know why, what do you mean if I change my name? If you want my Twitter handle, I'll pop it in the thing here. My personal Twitter is at the Lee Stevens. I'll put it down here right now.
I think it's Trinimac. Trinimac?
Mac.
I stand corrected.
I have no idea. I like that snake though.
Yeah, you've got something similar, Dave.
I do. Yeah.
I still can't use my keyboard properly.
What have you done to your computer?
Oh, you need to change your name to Wilcock. Lee Wilcock.
I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
This is not good.
Do you need me to take it down?
No.
Lee's having technical issues with his keyboard.
I am. Awful technical issues.
All right, here's a good one for Wilcock. The fact that there are people that believe Wilcock has evidences that most people interested in this topic are nutcases. You're listening to the show with us too, my friend. We are all nutty as squirrel shit. Like, you don't get into this being normal.
There is a bind though with Wilcock, isn't there?
Oh my god. Oh, I love you, Moody. David Wilcock for food.
What does he mean by that? To it? Like
This
eat
golden
him?
shower, you'd be on it, huh? Sticky keys. Yeah, for lots of reasons, not the ones you might think.
I mean, I used to think a golden shower was somebody that had more money than sense, and they just had a golden shower.
You didn't know it was piss?
No, I do now.
Wow.
You always knew it was piss.
No,
Oh
back in
my.
the day, when I was, no, I didn't.
You just thought you were
No,
weeing on each other?
I'm
You didn't know it had its own name?
never tried that shit. Would you like a golden shower? Yeah, sure. Get yourself upstairs.
You're the one doing sword fights with your buddies.
Bring your tools.
Yeah, again.
Oh dear. I mean, he's crazy. Let's face it. He seems like a crazy. He's even got crazy hair. He looks like.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, we're teasing him because of his name. I'm sure it's not the first time he's heard it. I've been teased about my real name, so I get it.
He's doing fucking well.
Listen, I would still trip balls with that guy. Like, let's throw back a bunch of psychedelics and wander off in the woods, see who comes out alive. Good, clean fun. He's gone. It's just me and Ollie now. Ollie, you got to carry the show. I'm just color commentary at best.
I think. Oh wait, yeah.
And we're burning. We're crashing.
No, right.
It's all falling apart now.
You Wilcocks of this world, they had something. For me, they had a lot of entertainment.
They had cock.
They had entertainment. I find it. He was live earlier, like Lee, welcome to the show, said earlier. It was like a fruit machine, like people super chatting left, right, center, but they're fucking entertained. They're loving it.
Our chat is
They are high as shit watching this bloke preach.
They're watching us
preach to them and thinking this is awesome. They don't care. They don't think he's gonna bring. I don't think they think he's gonna bring disclosure. I think they just people just like it. People just bought into him. It's like Stephen Greer, He's Stephen Greer for me. He's like the old. What?
Chat, I'm so sorry, Holly, but the golden showers and piss jokes with you is just it's taking over the chat.
What's going on? It's not hard to figure out. Golden shower.
Don't cross the streams. So Moody S was Ollie that kid who went to his mom and said, "Mom, what's a rusty trombone?"
I was an
innocent
child, right? And unlike some of the youth of today, I didn't get sex education at fucking 8 years old. I think I was lucky if I got it at 6 years old.
I thought you went to Catholic school.
No, not me.
Ollie thinks hard sports is the Olympics. Cross swords. He bathed in his own pee. It's amazing the thing.
No, that's what Wilcock does. Wilcock does bathe in his own pee.
No.
That's what he says.
No.
I mean, how much fucking piss would you have to save up to do that?
I'd say about a bathtub's worth.
Well, exactly, yeah. but how do you preserve it to the point where it's still good for buffing in?
Oh, hey, wait. We can try and get back on the non-kink train here.
Okay.
John Pedersen Jr. I had a close encounter of the third kind in 1995. I don't believe a word that Wilcock says. He is a lunatic. John, message the show. Email us. We'd love to have you on and talk about it. Ollie, could you throw up your email?
Absolutely.
alienaddict.uk@gmail.
No, it's not. No dot.
Okay. alienaddict.uk@gmail.com. John, email us. We'd love to have you on and talk about that.
Email us with a breakdown of the story.
I'm whacking the table. I'm sure you are, Murdery. I'm sure you are. Lee ran from the chat.
No, Lee's having technical issues tonight.
Yeah, that's what you call it. Washes his hair in pee to make it grow. Where did we go? How did we get here? Is this my fault?
This is conspiracy mothership. This is what happens.
We don't normally talk about piss this much.
No, but somebody started with it.
It was me.
Okay, it was you. How do we get off the piss?
Obviously, we've been hoping you'd get off it for years.
I mean,
golden shower boy.
the
next shirt for art needs to be you under a golden shower. How many of those do you think we'd sell?
Okay, I'm doing that.
You got to do that, right? It's awesome. He could have it on "Don't Cross the Swords."
I do think though, do you reckon all these like UFO celebs are in communication with each other? Like, do you think the Wilcock
bunch of them
of this world speaks to Stephen Greer and goes,
Yeah,
"Hey, Steve, have you seen this? We did a show about this the other day, and it did really well. Maybe you should."
I think I don't know that it's that far. I know that they're in contact because we're in contact with a bunch of people. We're in contact with people that are much bigger than us. That's just a thing. So absolutely, at some level, they definitely are.
I mean, you would have thought if he is in contact with him, he's just like, "Hey, Steve, you ever thought about like rubbing some piss on your hair?" What? To make it.
What's the medical advice? Rubbing piss in your hair.
Does she actually make it grow?
Why don't you tell us and find out? Comp comes in. UAP piss closure is near.
This show's definitely not getting monetized.
Oh no, dude! That ended the first 10 minutes in. He's got cotton buds out. Oh, good lord, man.
No, I
the things that attract people, like the amount of because we can see the live ticker of how many people are watching the show continuously from all the different platforms, and it blows my mind. Like when Lee and I went on a diatribe about chicks and big asses, and oh my god, did they just flood in from X? We must have got 70 extra people.
Just done it again. You just moved the conversation from
chicks
piss
and big asses. What?
To
y'all know what I'm saying? Red-blooded Americans, they know where I'm at. I don't know where. What's the European take on that? Is that a?
Oh yeah. I like a big butt, and I cannot lie.
Those other brothers can't deny.
I don't know the rest of the song.
When the girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face,
that's it. You get sprung. Yeah, I always thought it was sprung.
So why dyslexic?
Dyslexic,
You heard it backwards. I know you sure should not reading the lyrics.
I used to just make lyrics up to things, I'd hear it in my head.
Oh, I totally.
It sounds like that.
Everybody does.
My kids do it all the time. No, I back to get it slightly back on track. I expected 2014 to be the year of like where the content would just ram up, like literally it would just ramp up.
Piss content,
but yes, David,
or butt content.
But
yeah,
but it does seem now, from going back to the beginning of the show, like they just want to end it, and you're gonna get the channels that want to stick with this that the whole UFO thing's not real, and you shouldn't listen to the grifters anymore.
I have a problem with grift. Grift is just capitalism. They're grifting. Are they perpetuating a con upon people to separate them from their money in a knowingly dishonest manner? Or are they talking about interesting things and they're trying to be monetized to make a couple bucks for it? There is a distinct difference. Here's a good question so we can save ourselves. Where do you guys stand on giants and don't stay on their shoulders? That's exactly what I was going to say. Where do we stand on giants?
Do we do a show?
Probably their back, right? Like if they're laying down, that seems safe. Or they're a corpse at the very least. I don't think you try and stand on a live one. That's just been poorly. as in relation to them actually existing giants, I believe that there are giant beings that did exist in the past. Yes, I do. What do you believe?
Nephilim?
Giants. He asked specifically about giants, and that's just a name.
Did you ever see them like pictures that was before there was even like AI art, where you'd see somebody at a dig and then they'd have this big, massive skull, rib cages, and I was always looking and going, have they done like some sort of perspective thing there where it's the skeleton's closer than we think it is to the camera, or is there real pictures out there of people digging up giant skeletons?
I mean, I don't know. I do believe there are giants, but like what constitutes a giant? 8 feet tall, 12 feet tall. Do I believe that things like that existed? Yes. Do I think they're human? No. Do I think it's been hidden from us? Yes. Another good question. It is, as Lee and Ollie are from the UK, I would love to hear thoughts on the Rendlesham Forest incident back in 1980. I'm making a YouTube documentary on it. Kissy happy face thing.
I was literally born when that happened.
Literally?
Not
literally born when the
Rendlesham
event happened. You were born that
1980.
Day.
Yeah,
in the forest.
It was
in the Rendlesham Forest.
Yes, Dave.
Why aren't you in the reports? Nobody said anything about your ridiculously hot mother being out there in the woods nude, birthing a ginger soulless child
with no hands.
Well, you mean you have hands? Oh, I guess when you're an infant, you wouldn't have looked like. Good point. I haven't seen baby pictures of you, thank Christ. Nor do I ever want to. I've seen enough freaky shit in my life. I need to be haunted by that.
Do you know the Rendlesham case? I find that it's intriguing. It really is. I mean, it was. I believe it was US that was out there in the forest that did most of the reports, which is pretty wild.
Hey, what do you think about Rendlesham Forest? Did you know Ollie's ridiculously attractive mother was nude in the woods birthing him as the alien craft was landing?
Really?
December
literally.
1980,
He said that. Literally. Not metaphorically, not metaphysically, not spiritually, literally.
Did you get abducted or something?
My technology this evening is not the vibe, I'm afraid.
Your what?
My technology this evening is not the vibe.
Yeah, we've been talking about piss this whole time.
Have you?
Oh, you've missed out.
Yeah, the chat really likes it. And then I started talking about big butts, and we gained 6 more.
And you couldn't lie.
The other brothers can't deny.
I think I fixed it though. I think we're good. Yeah, I just
said.
had a load of nonsense in the in the comment box. Yeah,
stuffed in the jib.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Rendlesham Forest? That's the question.
I mean, the audio recording. I wasn't actually there, but the audio recording has to be like the coolest bit of like UFO, like
I agree.
evidence. Is it what's better? What's better than this is weird? Like
it's a pretty real reaction to seeing crazy shit. Yeah. Here's another good question from Rotary. What do you guys think is out there? And I think it's grist to the mill, not grift.
I think the truth. The truth is out there.
I think a lot of bullshit's out there. More bullshit than truth. No, seriously, we were talking about piss, and then we started talking about big butts, and then we it never fails. We talk about big butts, and
truth is out there.
It comes. They just come running to the chat.
What were you guys saying about Rendlesham Forest then? What did I miss?
No, someone just asked what his thoughts on Rendlesham Forest.
Do you think Rendlesham would have disappeared if it wasn't for Nick Pope?
Good question. Yes.
There's been a couple of things. The Rendlesham comes to mind, and the photographs, what are they called?
You're on about the big giant triangle.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, we did a full show on it.
I think I'll just lose stroke.
What have you done?
Calvine, the Calvine UFO.
Calvine UFO, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's because the Rendlesham Forest story and Calvine have kind of been Nick Pope's bread and butter, haven't they, for a long time?
Yes. I mean, it's to be fair, it
doesn't mean they're not real. It's just
doesn't mean that at all. Yeah, and that was what we were talking about, like grift earlier, like grifters. There's a difference between being an active con man perpetrating a con, a falsehood to extract money from gullible fools, versus someone who's making a living talking about and going through things. You know, like just like, oh, you're a podcaster and you're making money. You're grifting. How? That's not what it is. And
no one ever says that to bricklayers. No one ever sees a bricklayer building a wall and go, look at that grifter. Why isn't he doing that for free?
Exactly. I like this from Moody because we were talking about giants earlier. Want to understand giant? Go watch the video where Dave teaches Ollie to shoot a gun. It's like watching a 6'5" beaming happy father teaching his bearded 8-year-old how to shoot.
Why is it always me?
My 8-year-old doesn't have hands that small. They can hold a normal gun.
Neither does your 4-year-old. Well,
this is true. Yeah, but he's a giant. Genuinely a giant. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I still find the Calvine thing interesting. I think for all intents and purposes, like when I see, because I'm kind of used to that sea fog type of weather, being on like a little cold island in the middle of the Irish Sea, we get lots of that type of weather, and like people going on about reflections and stuff like that. I've seen weather like that far too often, so I just look at that and go, oh no, that's just really thick sea fog that's come in. And that's exactly how it would be if you had something in the sky. That's exactly how that picture would turn out.
Yeah, with my recent driving that I've been doing a lot of, I see a lot of that.
Yeah, and it takes all distance away from you, and it's just this
it's crazy
thick cloud in front of you. I know sometimes if I have to drive back over the mountain, it's but you cannot see more than 2 feet in front of you. You know, so if you had an object of that size in the sky, you would see it, especially in the daytime. Like especially if the fog was just rolling in. But yeah, I think that's a real photograph of something. What it is, no idea. But I 100% do not believe it's a rock and a leaf.
What, as in the Harrier jump jet in the leaf?
Yeah.
Somebody said that.
That was the reflection. That was the reflection theory. Is that the rock, the UFO is a rock, which is like the idea of how that whatever body of water is would have to be so fucking still not to distort the image. Also, it's not a fucking mirror image, and then you have to have a Harrier jump jet sized leaf.
It's not a mirror image. You're right there. Because I tried to mirror it in Photoshop.
Not size leaf, shaped leaf. So yeah, Rotary Motion hasn't seen the picture. I will try and find that for you, Rotary. Rotary, I went all Manx then. Sorry about that.
It's good times.
I want Jeremy Corbell to release another UFO.
Because you want
that grifter.
You racist. It's just my default. I don't really mean anything by it. Could always change the name from Alien Addict. It opened up the possibilities for the show. Just call the show Conspiracy Mothership. The whole show. Massive rebranding. Because we're not really addicted to aliens. Unless you're Wilcock, but Wilcock being addicted to something kind of makes sense. We're never going to have him on the show, are we?
Have you seen this, by the way?
No. Yes. Maybe.
I don't know. Is this real?
What?
This?
Is what
Yes.
real? Yeah.
I've seen loads of pictures of that.
That's mental.
Why?
It's like, I don't know, it's like something out of Star Wars. You expect like a plane or something to fly out of it.
Maybe they do.
Do we know what it is?
Looks like a hole in a wall. Is that not what it is? Is it something other than a hole in a wall?
What is this in Utah? It's in Utah.
It's a hole in a wall in Utah?
Let's see what the chat says.
Dude, they're still talking about piss and butts.
No, not our chat. The chat.
Oh, chat that is, not our chat. Yeah, that chat. Can you measure it on Google? Not with all these tiny hands. Glory hole for giants. I like that. Welcome to the show. It's a giant glory hole. There's a part of me that loves that these shows kind of just descend into this madness. This is why Gaia won't have us on, by the way. It's all golden shower talk, big butt talk, glory hole talk.
I don't know what it is.
It's an important point. David Wilcock once bumped his gargantuan forehead there. Hey, I have a giant forehead. I'm not going to give that guy a hard time about that.
So, for anyone in the chat that hasn't seen the Calvine UFO, this is like an artist's rendition of it, where this was in like British newspapers. The MOD did investigated it. The rumors were that there was 3 photographs. They were confiscated by the Ministry of Defense. Some people say they saw them. One of those people being MOD guy. Help me out. We've just said his name.
Who?
The guy I just said his name, Nick Pope.
Nick Pope.
Nick Pope said he'd seen the originals. I'll have to have another look for you, Rotary. I'll look for the year. I'm not sure. So this was the recreation. Then a few years back, we were gifted this photograph, which is reportedly the original of, or one of the original photographs of said UFO.
Oh, you mean the one of the reflection on that lake
with the leaf?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's a spaceship, but what I am saying is I 100% do not believe that is a reflection in water. The you can see like the sheep fence there in a field. So just the natural camera angle of that is a camera pointing up at something. To me, for someone that, I mean, this was taken in Scotland. The geography of that place would be very similar to places where I live. That all lines up to me. That lines up to a picture of the sky with really heavy, like low cloud or sea fog or something like that.
Yeah,
Apart
I
from
see
that,
a lot of that too.
I don't know, but that's what I see. That's what before the reflection of the rock or anything like that came out. That's what I saw, and that's what I believed it was something in the sky. Fuck knows anything else.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if the jet even saw that it was there.
Maybe. I would think I would like looking at those like proportions and where they are. I think you'd have to mean that the story is that the story is that was scrambled to intercept it. I don't know.
Guys, I found our niche for the future. Desperately seeking a conspiracy BDSM site.
Hey, Alien Girl, and the other 32 people on Twitter.
So yeah, I mean, I do think that thing was it knew it was there. That Calvine UFO. I wonder if it's like a.
I'm going with the real.
Like an air balloon.
Yeah, I go with the real on it. I mean, it could have been like a radar target, like a floated. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's just for whatever reason. It
I'm amazed at how rock-like it looks. It looks like a rock
floating.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Who's the guy that was at that conference with Stephen Greer that had the floating slab? I found his story quite fascinating.
That guy.
Yeah, that of all of the people that Stephen Greer brought out, I found his bullshit the most bullshitty of the bunch.
Oh, see, you got to say shit like that. We're never going to have him on now.
I'd love to speak to him. I actually found his. I thought he seemed believable.
I would say that, but I'd still like to have him on the show to talk to him.
I mean, he very well could be, but the reason I say I find his bullshitty the most is because I just find it insane that some construction contractors would be brought to look at a job via the anti-gravity room.
Yeah, that's the problem I also have with it.
The floating slab, I'll believe the floating slab. I'll take the floating slab.
Yeah. See, the thing is, like, I know construction workers who work at places not like there's no floating stones, but it's secure facilities. And they're extremely restricted on where they go. They're escorted to the heavy equipment back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Was he a construction worker? I don't think he was a construction worker.
Yeah.
He goes in to set up like training rooms and stuff.
No, he was. Yeah. They were building one. His father had a construction company. He worked for his father's construction company. He was also in the military. I think he might have been like National Guard or part time or something like that. Because he obviously had a lot of off time, and so he was working with his father's business, and they went down there to bid this because they'd worked on other projects on military bases. I mean, they had prior clearance, and once you kind of get that and you get in the groove, you just keep getting all the work. But to walk him into an incredibly classified thing like that just doesn't ring true, because when you're in restricted areas, like the guys I know who operate equipment, like they have security guards that watch them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just watch them work all day, which has to be the most boring job ever. But it's still what they got to do.
I mean, let's just say it's real. What if the slab was just it wasn't covered up at the time? It was supposed to be. It just wasn't.
No, like it just doesn't. And then the other thing is, they let him out without making them sign any non-disclosure. They let him in without signing non-disclosure agreements.
They wanted him to sign it.
Yeah. There's not a want to. You do this, or you are remanded into custody. It's national security. You don't get to go to a highly even like that's what happens. Say you're hiking and you end up in the middle of an exercise and it's classified, and you're going to be like, oh, well, I won't tell anyone, guys. Like, well, we're going to have you sign these documents anyways. Well, I don't want to sign them. We don't have to, but we will remand you into custody until this is now a public thing and it's not a national security secret.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun sitting in a cell for 70 years.
I had to sign an NDA to go and look at Formula One cars.
It's a very common thing.
Yeah.
I sign them every time I go do my work thing. Like
I know you've got a different job now, Ollie, but you must have had to do something like that.
I did.
Yeah,
I did many times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not It's a ridiculously common thing. You sign them, you move on. Especially if he's done government work in the past. Every time he's been on a base, he signed it. If he's the contractor, absolutely. So it should have been like, oh, I'm not going to sign that because I'm that to me made zero sense. Yeah, you sign it, absolutely, because your business, everything relies on this. It just didn't make sense to me. If he said, I went in there, we signed the papers, we went through, I saw it, and then they decided not to go with us, and they started to ruin my life anyway, so I broke my NDA. I'm talking about the flying disc. That'd make more sense.
Who was the most intriguing to you out of all those people that stood up?
Greer himself.
Fair.
Yeah. Love to get him on the show. But I think that restraining order is kind of getting in the way.
I don't know why we've got that.
It's because last time Lee was here, he went and peeked in his windows. He's not going to let that go.
Just want to say hi.
Well, you should have had your pants on. We don't say hi like that in America. Maybe the Isle of Man's different, but here we have pants on when we say hi to people.
I do think that that guy would be an interesting person to speak to. The guy that went in and saw the actual craft and those whatever they were, that team that was wearing all black.
Yeah. Here's a question, since it's conspiracy. Do you guys believe in alien UFOs? Define alien, Rotary. Do you talking like alien from another planet, or alien from another country, or alien from the reptoids underneath us? Aliens from the forgotten civilizations that are hiding in Antarctica and under the ocean, or the interdimensional aliens?
I definitely believe in aliens, but I don't know where they come from. They could come from here.
So well, no, that then I don't.
That's
think
still aliens.
No, but in the way he's asking the question, I don't think that qualifies as alien.
I don't either. That's why in all seriousness, Rotary, what kind of alien do you mean?
Yeah.
You talking from like outer space star system stuff?
And technically, yeah, the way we're framing the conversation as well. Yeah, it's kind of a cop out saying, oh, if they're here, they're still alien. Because
if they're here, they're not alien. Yeah.
They're terrestrial at that point. They're not extraterrestrial. I'm
waiting on Rotary to respond.
Yeah, it's like if a squirrel ran in your house, you wouldn't go, oh, look at that alien. You go, look at that squirrel. It doesn't. I'm not sure. I think if there was aliens visiting Earth, I feel it would have been coming.
So non-human. So let me clarify. Do you mean from like another planet?
Yeah.
I think that's specifically. Do you mean like from a different star system, like they're from Mars or Uranus?
1992 aliens.
Yeah. Like that. Because if that's the question, do I think there are other things in the universe? There has to be. Like, I believe that there has to be. Do I think that they're coming here? Probably not. I'm going to go with probably not. I think what they find aren't crashes. I think that they find a lot of just me. This is just L here talking out his mouth ass mouth. I think that they're mostly archaeological finds. I think that is something that happens from older civilizations or other technologies. I think there's a lot of things that are being held from us because there's just so much stuff in history that doesn't make sense, and it's purposely obfuscated. Like they're getting in the way of it intentionally. They're clouding it, the history. That's what I think.
See, my thing is, if we were being visited from aliens from different planets, and it's in the frame of what we think is going on. So we think there are human beings have been engaged by something, we'll say non-human, for a long time. I think we'd know about it I said this on the podcast the other day. In the same way as that, like humans come across bears in the woods.
Yeah.
We would have come across the bears in the woods and know the bears are there, even if you don't see bears very often.
Correct.
We would still know the bears were out there.
So Rotary has a good follow-up. Do you think the powers that be work with non-humans? I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they know what's out there. Welcome to the show. This is good. Hi, guys. What sacrifice would you make to expose disclosure in the next 24 hours? Ooh. What sacrifice would I make?
I don't know what I could sacrifice.
Wait a minute. Does it have
Got
to
two
be
cats.
does it have to be personal, or can I like throw strangers and politicians out there?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I just
all
have to name whatever I want.
entire British Parliament, meat grinder,
like Congress, Senate.
show me the
Supreme
aliens
Court.
now.
I'd throw them out for a golden shower.
We know you would, Ollie. We know you wouldn't even have to throw him out for a golden shower. You're just down. And you know what? Just for all you people think we're making fun of him, he is highly sought after. All right, with those tiny hands, everything looks massive. He's in demand.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
that's smooth.
oh my god, dude! The chat went dark. Too many people are like, "I'd sacrifice Ollie." Someone else would sacrifice Ollie.
Wow.
Whoa! Whoa! This animal turned. Oh.
Sorry, Ollie. You've been selected as tribute.
I expected nothing less.
Moody's making a much more normal point before we get away from human sacrifice for a moment.
Just for a moment.
I mean, we're going to go back. Sci-fi has tainted us. I agree. It's hard to break that mindset. Aliens are probably very alien, maybe so alien it would take us a long time to even see them. Or maybe all intelligent life in this universe looks the same.
There's a good theory about that, isn't there? Is the fact that maybe the human body is just the best way to go around things
optimal.
Like bipedal animals is just we're the ones that end up building the shit, so end up doing the shit.
Circle jerker, wackadoo, Wookiee spanker.
I honestly wonder
what is going on.
I flip-flop with this, I really do, because sometimes I'm really on board with they're coming from outer space, and sometimes I'm like, I don't think they are. I think they're, whatever it is right here. But then I think, I look at what's been happening in the UFO community, and I'm wondering if it's by design for us eventually to go, yeah, there's nothing coming. There's nothing coming from outer space. There's nothing here. It's just whatever it is, it's right here. We need to look.
Rotary's made his choice of sacrifice.
Oh, poor Steve.
I mean, I wouldn't say no. I don't know. Honestly, there's better ones. Like, that's the thing. Like, you ask for a sacrifice. Do you just want someone thrown on the altar to get kickstarted? Or does it have to cost me something? You know? Because I got to be honest, I'm not willing to give up anything that it cost me. I don't care. Because I'd still think I was being lied to.
That's it. I mean, if you give something up for disclosure, you know, let's just say it as a platform. Since it's one of the biggest platforms out there. So let's say even a fucking news outlet. Listen, we're going to give you this fucking information that you can put out there. You can be the guys to do it. How the fuck do we know it's real? How do we know the people that are pushing this to come out, whatever comes out?
You don't, and that's exactly why Jeremy Corbell gets too much shit from people that don't understand what's going on.
I agree 100% with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you going to... This is the thing. He gets so much abuse. And like, let take the Nemetz, yeah? So let's say you're somewhere, you get a call. This is how I imagine Jeremy Corbell's day goes, is that he gets a random text message saying, I'm going to phone you at 5, be at a public phone box on this street. So he goes and stands by his public phone box. It rings up, it says, going to meet you in a diner at 12 o'clock. in the middle of the desert. So he has to drive out to the middle of the desert to find one of those little tin diners that probably don't exist. You know, the ones that look like big caravans.
Mhm.
What was that? Was that your chair?
Yes, it's my
All
chair.
right.
It's not my bottom.
He goes into the diner, of which is completely empty, barring one person wearing a suit and dark glasses. He sits down to speak to her. He addresses him simply as Jeremy, doesn't say his own name, slides over an envelope which has stills and a memory card in it. The stills are pictures of the Nemetz UFO incident, to which he explains to him that there was triangular shaped craft buzzing this. Was it a battleship or was it a aircraft carrier?
Aircraft carrier, I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that one, though.
And then he goes away, and he's left with this choice of like, do I put this out? Of course, you put it out.
Yeah, 100%. You put things.
You've just been told by a man in black that you've got like pictures of triangular, fucking pyramid aliens buzzing U.S. battleships. Of course, you put it out.
You can imagine the conversation. It's like, well, George, you know what they're going to do. And it's like, well, you're not going to put it out then? No, I'm going to put it out. I'll just put it out and I'll say nothing.
I'm pretty sure that's more that whole conversation is more sort of framed as Jeremy Corbell at this going, George, you know what they're going to do.
I mean, there is too much hate there, yeah, because people, they fucking love it as well. When something gets released from Corbell, the crowd goes wild.
And they should. He's done good documentaries, and I think in general he's putting out interesting information. He's, like Lee said, he's having Cloak and Dagger dudes give him information. He's putting it out. He's telling you what someone else has told him. You take it whether it's disinformation or it's real. That's up to us to individually filter. Sadly, we have to figure that out on our own. You know.
Definitely.
Are they still talking about piss, or we finally get away from that?
No, I think we got away from the piss.
How about the big butts?
I still smell
There's many people watching. I figured we were still on big butt topic. It brings them in. Does it not, Lee? It brings them in.
Well, just like milkshakes, they all come to the yard.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. I don't. Is it time to kick this old?
It is. We should end on piss and big butt.
It's good numbers. It's 1 hour 33. It's good number to.
Let it go
1 more minute. We don't want Ollie to be happy.
Yeah, we don't have to be happy now. And 10 seconds, people, and then we're gone.
10 more seconds. Anything else?
Dude,
I'm not a fan of Kim K. That's not. That's wrong. That's not normal. It's deformed. The doctor should lose his license, and she should be put in a freak show.
I wonder if I could wear those as glasses.
Big thighs save lives, man.
Try it. Try to get your face in between.
In between what? Is this a piss thing again?
He needs to get closer to it. He's like, yeah, that's it. That's great. Someone screenshot that. And get it on Twitter. Do something with it.
Kinky.
Yeah.
All right. So we've passed it now.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming hanging out with us on this fine Sunday evening. We have. I'm going to find his names. I think it's Greg. I need to follow up on these, but we might as well.
Is this what we got next week?
Yeah.
We've got Mark Sargent in the future, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was in the chat the other day. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. I spoke to him.
That'll be a fun convo. That flat Earth went fire, man.
I really enjoyed that one. For anyone that listens to the Last Americans podcast, they used to be the part of My American. We have Greg Williams coming on the show. He also does the Strange Sauna podcast that I fucking love. So that's gonna be really good. Like that'll be an interesting chat we can have there, because like part of My American guys went pretty hard on the Q thing and have completely flipped over on it, like that'll be good. Yeah, so I'll be interested to speak to him about that. He's great.
Is that Sunday?
No, that's Friday.
Friday.
I will tell you what we have coming up right now. So yeah, Friday we have Greg coming on. Sunday we have Courtney from Farsight UFO channel coming on, talking about astral projection and stuff like that. Both these people, if you happen to be listening to the podcast, you'll be getting an email tomorrow to confirm your availability for said podcasts. Then we have the week after that, Chupacabra is coming on the week after that on Sunday. I can't wait for that one. The week after that, we have nothing on the 31st. So there's no one on the 31st. So you're probably going to get a show like this. The 7th is my personal favorite, and what I'm really bloody excited about is we've got Bart. Is it Seidel?
Sebrel.
Bart Sebrel. The guy that made a funny thing happen on the way to the moon. And I don't, without putting too much emphasis on this, there's a real good chance I wouldn't be sat here speaking to you guys if it wasn't for a funny thing happened on the way to the moon.
That was not watched that documentary. Watch it before the show.
That was the documentary that really made me go, hang on a second, because I was a big moon guy, and I remember I had a video game console when I was younger. I had a Philips CDI, and one of the pack-in games that came with the Philips CDI was an Antarctica encyclopedia, and I watched the moon landing. Because I mean, in my head, it was long. It was probably like 10 seconds now, thinking about how big a CD would have been back then. But I watched the It's One Small Step for Man maybe 6 million times. I was obsessed with the moon landings. And I watched a funny thing happen on the way to the moon, and it crushed my tiny mind. And I think that probably turned me into a conspiracy theorist.
Nice.
Rotary Motion, it's called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. It's on YouTube, so you can go and watch it right now. Now the show is finished. I do encourage everybody to go and watch that documentary. It's fucking fabulous.
We're kind of becoming a flat Earth podcast, aren't we?
No, not quite. But he's actually
good numbers.
I was speaking to Mark Sargent on email about because that's a thing now. I was speaking to Mark about Bart, and he was saying that Bart is like 100% anti flat Earth. Like he's really viciously anti flat Earth, and he said it's really weird. He said I thought eventually he would have ended up coming to our side because it would have been, he was kind of half there. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll be interested to speak to him about it, and then to have the conversation about the moon, because the week after that, the 13th, Saturday, the 13th of April, we've got Mark Sargent on.
Yeah.
So
that kind of makes sense. Like, just because I think Catholic priests diddle little boys doesn't mean I'm suddenly a Satanist. I just think Catholic priests diddle little boys. Just like he thinks NASA is lying.
Yeah.
Although if these flat Earth numbers keep going, right, we're a flat Earth podcast at some point. And I know Ollie will rejoice.
I mean, I think NASA wants us to think they're up to no good because they're really doing really good stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah,
they've got all the aliens.
Because space is really real. It's exactly how we're told it is.
Yeah, nobody's lying to us about anything.
Listen, if I can get on that ship of Elon's, I'll go.
Here's the thing: what if the world is? Back. This is something I thought. What if the world is flat, and our ancestors, in a war with the reptilians, erected the ice wall around us to keep the reptilians out, because their low body temperature wouldn't allow them to get through. So that's why they tunnel, but because of whatever's down there, they can only make it through so much at a time.
Stargaze Geezer, Bruce's moon video. What's Bruce's moon video?
Are we talking about Moonwave?
You're talking about
Moonwave.
I've invited him on. He says he's up for coming on. Bruce sees all.
Does he?
That's the
I
name
hope
of
not.
channel Bruce Caesar.
It kind of sounds like a Saturday night like game show.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone needs to watch me all the time.
He's got some great stuff.
Well, what's his moon video?
There's loads of them. I mean, his whole channel is him.
What about the moon?
And his telescope on the moon all the time.
Right. Well,
so he has a telescope watching the moon.
What's he seeing?
What is he seeing in the telescope other than the moon? Don't say the fucking moon.
Some crazy shit. I'll send you guys some videos.
Yeah, cool.
Right, I'm interested.
When is he coming on, Ollie? I'd like to speak to him. Maybe that's one we could do for a Saturday.
Yeah, we had a back and forth, and I'll chase it back up with him. But he said he would be interested in coming on.
Well, if you this obviously this is a bit inside baseball for the chat, but if you can get him on after Mark Sargent, that would be
I'll definitely get him on after Mark.
That would be awesome ball.
And if any of the chat is good friends with Bruce, nudge him our way because we've had
or if there's anyone else people think we should talk to, let us know. Email us. Send Ollie some penis pictures. He appreciates it. Doesn't have to be yours. It can be hobos on the street. Give him a burger.
We'll do an extra long podcast and call it the Brucey bonus.
I've just realised I've lost one of these
bit
big
of a British
hands.
deep cut. What, mate?
What?
I've only got one hand. I've lost the other big hand.
No, the other one's just far away.
Yeah. Anyway, the t-shirts, people. They've got how long's left this month? A couple of weeks.
End of the month, and they'll all be disappeared. Even that spanky Ferry Lee one.
Yeah, new things will be coming out.
Which I do really need to buy one of those before we get rid of them.
I bought some. My friends bought some, and were wearing them the other night when I showed up.
So it's going to come off from what's the last day of the month? I'll take it off on the 1st, just because.
The day before the 1st, and then we'll put new stuff up. I mean, I don't know how the days work.
I'll take it off on the 1st, so then it's fair. But I appreciate the people who's been getting them as well. But
so Sunday the 1st of April is on Monday.
Yeah, so I'll take them off on the 1st in the evening and then replace them with the new ones. But if you've bought one of those, because there's been a few that's been gone recently, which is really nice, send us a picture, tweet them to us.
And remember, everybody, this show is on Spotify, so you don't have to share a YouTube video with people. You can share the Spotify link. You can listen to us on Spotify. All our back catalogs there. It's important. Get to sharing. Anyway.
Friday, people. Good night.
Don't pee on each other.
See you later, guys. Thanks for sticking around.
I mean, you can pee on each other if you want. You're consenting adults. I'm not putting down anyone peeing on each other. I'm just saying, make sure they're into it. or you've paid them money, or they're asleep.
But it's real warm.
Oh, you bet.
Just for a
You
second.
air
though,
quote
just for a
bet. It's-
second. Yeah. Body temperature, even.
Yeah, who knew?